Hey, good evening. Maria back with another video. It is May 3rd, 8:35 p.m. and I just wanted to come on here and make a quick video and let all my viewers who happen to really be TIs, not perps, trying to monitor what I'm doing, but like real targeted individuals who have subscribed to my channel. I wanted to come on here and make this video after hearing the sad news. Now, believe me, I want to back up a little bit, okay? I want to say that I am not somebody who, is absorbed in celebrities. I don't really follow celebrities. I did it when I was younger. Everybody has those teenage idols or that you have crushes on or when you're growing up. I grew up with Teen Beat magazine, 16 magazine. So, there were certain people who were famous, when I was growing up that I took an interest in as a teenager. But, some people, this carries on into adulthood, okay? Like I know my mom used to make me run down to the store and pick her up copies of the Star and the Enquirer because she had an interest in like celebrity lives. Okay, I'm not really one of those people. Okay, but like I said, there's certain stories that you cannot avoid. Like when you get online to get your email or whatever, there's certain things that are coming across your face. Okay, so I don't want people to think that Maria has lost her mind and she's going around like looking at celebrity news because I don't go out of my way to do that. Okay, so anyway, back to the subject. I had noticed that Naomi Judd had passed away. So, of course, I dug into this article. And, like, I cannot be considered a fan of the Judds. Okay. Now, as everyone knows, I am a black woman who has a vast interest in all kinds of music. And I will say that there were some country songs that I did enjoy, but I really can't tell you that I am that familiar with the Judds. The only thing I know about them is that when I was in high school, I took notice of them, mainly because they had become extremely popular. Very much like, some of the stars today, to where, every time you go to the grocery store or whatever, their face is splashed across a People magazine or whatever. They're on talk shows, they're giving interviews, so you see advertisements about them all the time. So I was familiar with him that way. And the first thing that I remember noticing about them were that these two women were very nice looking. And when I found out the prettiest one was the mom, I just remember thinking, "Damn, what a vibrant, blessed woman to have a great singing voice and such a beautiful appearance." Um, and that was pretty much all I really thought of them, other than they stood out in my mind because they were a mother and daughter duo. They did music together, and they were pretty nice looking. With the most important part of it was is that the mother was like, the daughter was pretty too, but the mom was just like, she was just very beautiful. And so, that was the only real impression that I had of them. I did hear them sing. I thought they sang okay, but I was never like, really a fan of theirs. But anyway, I had heard that they had made a comment, their daughters made a comment about the mother passing away and said that their mother had passed away basically because of mental illness. So I immediately, in my mind, it clicked that she had committed suicide. And, I don't know this woman, and I don't and maybe I feel like, I can't speak for anybody really, but I do think that some people think that, life is always uh, better. Everyone's life is better than theirs. They tend to compare themselves. The grass is always greener on the other side of the fence, so on and so forth. And some people look at wealthy people and they think to themselves, man, if I had all what they have, I would be sitting pretty and that my life would be great. And what people don't understand is that there's a lot of things that go on in life that people don't know about. That's not obvious to the outside world, but they deal with struggles that really, to me, have a very deep meaning. Because, we have this woman, we're just going to use this Naomi Judd as an example, okay? And I don't know everything about her life, but I do understand that when you are a famous person, when you are what they call a successful person, which I am not, okay? I'm not a celebrity. I don't make that kind of money. I don't have that sort of reputation. I don't have anything like that. But I do know what it's like when people perceive you to be better off than them, okay? Like, you know, everyone knows the reason why I'm making all these videos is because I was being bullied by somebody who felt as though they had the right to guide and direct my career path, right? And when you think about some of these people are in the entertainment industry, they collaborate with people who look at them as nothing but a commodity. Basically, when you're going to sell us that, get us that next record, when you're going to do that. There are some celebrities who are pressured into marrying other celebrities so that they could increase their reputation, so that they could have, you know, more publicity, do it for publicity or whatever. There's a lot that goes on, the kind of pressure and the self-denial and sacrifices that are, that makes these people wonder, you know, is my life even worth living? So yeah, she might have been a beautiful woman. She may have had a lot of money. She probably had more pairs of shoes than I could ever even dream of, okay? Or any woman, for that matter, could dream of. But we never know what other people have to go through inside, you know? And I don't know really her whole entire story, but, you know, it makes me think about, you know, how lonely some people can be, you know. I know she's got her family and that sort of stuff, but you also have to understand when you're somebody who's wealthy and you're part of a wealthy family, you know, it's very likely that she might have never felt, and I'm not saying that this is how she felt, okay, but when you are wealthy and you have everything, you have to question everyone, and the saddest part of it is that you have to even consider members of your own family when you have something that they don't have. You know what I mean? And I know that you know, when somebody is famous, or they have wealth and they have fame and they have all the things that people think are the greatest thing in the world, you know, a lot of times they get betrayed, and a lot of times, you know, they don't get the support. And the only reason why they do get the support is because they can't wait for you to kick the bucket so they can inherit your shit. I mean, seriously, we think that wealthy people have everything. And on first glance, yeah, they do. They don't have to worry about their bills being paid. But think about having to also worry about people that you come in contact with. Do they really have your best interest at heart? You know, when you know, someone like Naomi Judd, or anyone who's wealthy and it's known to the public, when they meet a new friend, or when they meet maybe somebody that they might consider as a quote unquote love interest or whatever, how do you know they're not just a gold digger? You know what I mean? It's sad because you can never really feel loved and real assured of that love, even from your own family. Will your child miss you when you're gone, or are you just going to be, you know, has he just, like, you know, struck gold the minute you die? You know, it's sad, but we live in a very loveless world, you know. And so, you know, I hope that Naomi Judd, rest in peace, you know. um, she, to me, is a good example of a woman who had it all, you know, because like I said, she had a great voice. That's something that everyone wants to live for. They want to be able to express their talent to the world. They want to be able to be noted for their talent. They want to be, uh, yes, I do think a lot of women do want to be beautiful. They may not want men or around them or anything like that, but women do care about those sort of things. They care about those sort of things, whether they want to admit it or not. Okay. Naomi Judd was a very beautiful woman. And like I said, you know, fame, fortune, everything. But sadly, you know, there was an emptiness inside her, and it got to the point where she couldn't take it anymore. You know what I mean? And I feel bad for that. You know what I mean? So anyway, people like that are definitely in my thoughts. And as a targeted individual, I know, I can't say I know exactly what it feels like, but like I said, I do know what it's like when people perceive you to have, you know, things. I remember somebody coming up to me one time and saying, "You have everything." And I'm like, "I don't have everything." You know what I mean? I get by on a lot of things that are very inexpensive and whatever. And I try to, at my age, it's like I can't go out and shop and shop and shop and shop. I don't have everything. But what I do, I try to be wise, I guess, now at this point. But, Uh, but you don't understand that when you have what other people perceive to be everything, that comes with a price. And most of the time, that's a shitload of enemies. Like, people will fucking become competitive with you. They'll, people will turn on you. And this, I've seen this situation played out many times, not just in my life, but in other people's lives. And I've also, and like I said, I'm not a celebrity, junkie or anything, but I've heard of like celebrities when they get, when they break through, when they start becoming successful. This is when, even family members start turning on them, and it's sad, but this is this is the way of life, and it can be very confusing for someone who grew up to think that just because you had family and people call themselves your friends, that's a really heartfelt, or that's a true thing, and so it's very heartbreaking. I'm sure that Naomi Judd went through a lot of sadness and heartache in her life, you know what I mean? And that nobody can see it because she's under the camera and she's smiling and she's got all this glitz and glamour and everything going on while the cameras are rolling. But the sad part is when she went home at night, she probably crawled in bed alone and cried her heart out. Very sad. Anyway, so let's think a little bit more about how we want to proceed in life. Let's be grateful for the things that we have. We know we don't have everything. You know what I mean? I don't have everything. And there are people who seem to think who seem to think that have been jealous of me in the past, who seem to think that I have everything. I don't know what everything means. You know what I mean? And when I compare myself to a lot of people, I would say, there's women who are better looking than me. There are women who are, you know, wealthier than me. There's people who have more than me, you know what I mean? And that's always going to be the case, you know what I mean? I'm content with what I have. I don't have, a house. I don't really have a need for one, but I'm trying to be content. I think what I deal with is I deal with a lot of trauma, still to this day. Like yesterday, I was having a little bit of anxiety going on in my mind. But and I guess other people's stories kind of touch me and make me think how I can relate to what they're saying and what they're feeling, And I can't speak 100% for Naomi Judd or anyone else who took it to that point of suicide. But I do understand what it's like when you just don't see any positive reason to stick around on this planet, especially when you look at how people are, the backstabbing nature of people, and how fragile it all really is. I mean, material things are great. I don't buy a lot of material things. Yeah, I do have a decent amount of clothes and shoes and stuff like that. But that's just like a hobby, things that you collect, But I'm talking about, like, I don't have like a swimming pool in my backyard. I don't have a fucking I don't have luxury cars. I don't have any of those sort of things, okay? But I guess the only thing I have in my life right now is things that I'm kind of holding dear to in my heart, like things that I feel are important, that it keeps me hanging on the next day. And I will tell you, when I was going into the heart of my targeting, it didn't even seem like that was enough to keep me going. You know what I mean? And I guess I'm just saying is I understand people think about suicide a lot because it's a realistic view of things. Some people just have suffered so much that they just want to put an end to it. I'm sorry that she felt that way. I really am. I'm sorry that anyone has to feel that way. And I hope that you find some sort of strength and something to believe in, something to hang on to, even if it's something that people don't understand. This is why people need to stay out of other people's business. There's some things that literally keep people alive. Like some people, they're quirky, strange, what some people might consider to be eccentric behavior or rituals that they need to do are the very things that give them that one little bit of nudge, or that one handlebar to grasp onto so they can continue living their lives the next day. you know, and it's not for me to decide what will keep her going. I know that she said in an interview, Naomi Joe was saying that, you know, when she wasn't in front of the camera, she went sunk into like despair and darkness and whatever. Then maybe she needs to be in the front of the camera a little bit more. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, I think that gives people that shove, that boost to continue on. I think in my life, yeah, I think clothes are important to me, because if I had to do the same thing over and over and over again every single day, it would become repetitious. So it gives me a break, it gives me a change. And don't let people involve themselves in your life as much as you possibly can. I just think that people should be more focused on their own happiness. You know what I mean? Because we can obviously see that other people, thinking that other people are going to put or going to put you in a position where they're always going to consider your happiness first. It's just not going to be that way, you know. And unfortunately, I think that Naomi Judd and a lot of people who are in her situation fall into the hands of people who don't have their best interest at heart, you know. And I think sometimes they get in a little over their heads. You know, it's not easy being a celebrity when you have to be concerned about your image all the time, your public image too. That means, you know, if you think about how you have to appear out into the public to continue to have fans and to get fans and keep those fans or whatever, you have to sometimes do certain things to get those things. Like you may not be able to associate with certain people that you would like to associate with, but you're trying to create an image. I understand how important those things are in terms of like somebody who's trying to be successful in the business world relating to like entertainment. Okay, it's very much about image. Now I know they're a lot older now. I may not have that big of a play that big of a role in their career anymore. But I know that, you know, there's certain things that people consider star quality, and you got to fit that role, you know, and that a lot of times is a lot on a person too. You know, I know celebrities tend to look better thin, and then some people get really hard on them if they even gain 5 or 10 pounds, you know, just because they're not fitting the look. They're not, you know, there's a lot of pressure that goes into that sort of industry and that entertainment world, you know what I mean? And anyway, so my point is that let's just be happy for what we do have. You know, try not to look at what other people have. Think about the things that you have, and like really totally enjoy them. Throw yourself into them, engross yourself in them. Don't let other people try to separate from what makes you hang on to this life. And I wish that she would have found another reason to hang on a little bit longer, because I hate to see, you know, people just waste themselves like that. But you know, I guess we can learn from their mistakes. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. I'll be back in the other video sometime later. Take care. Bye bye.